Guys, it's your boy Brandon from Audio Addiction. Thank you for checking out the stream tonight. If you're gonna be joining me, you're watching the live stream for Hail the Sun's new album, which I'm very stoked about. I have really loved Hail the Sun for a while. If you've been following the channel, you know I've done, I believe, every single that they had out for this new release. So wanted to do it at midnight. I almost debated on doing it tomorrow night, but I just really love what Hail the Sun's doing, and I just felt like, there's going to be hype around it, so I might as well do it now. But very excited. Divine Intertention has been one of my more anticipated albums of this year, so I really wanted to just jump into it. I've had Hail the Sun on before on the channel. It's been many years, but I'd love to have them back on. I'm sure something will happen where we'll have them back on again, but very excited. I've pretty much followed their entire musical journey throughout all of their different albums and stuff, and I think by far this is the one that I've been the most stoked to get into. Not that I feel like their previous material was not great. I'm just really excited to get into this album because I genuinely loved all of the singles. So if you are watching tonight and you haven't checked out the album, this is going to be a great time to jump in. If you are watching this after the fact, that's also very cool as well, and just thank you for being here. So thank you to Drums and Exado. I'm going to completely butcher that name, but thank you guys for hanging out in the chat. Really appreciate it. But I'm not going to keep you any longer because I feel like I want to get into it. But the first song is Tunnel Vision Alibi. So I feel like we just got to hop right into it. Let's go. Ooh. Starting out strong.
Continued alignment with our cause. You call me to make your amends, but your voice gets choked up. All these years till we only go forwards, and others who try lack the right words. I answered to hear your amends, but I just hung up, and I could never slow.
Ooh. Interesting chorus. It is already so tight. I'm ready. Donovan sounding great. So good. Ooh, that like fast guitar riff. I love that. That little beginning flutter. Nice. All right. Ooh. Is that a breakdown? Oh, this is so sick. Oh, the build up. All right. Oh, what the fuck, man? That last riff. Oh, this is going to be, I can feel it already. This is going to be so good. Well, guys, this is the first song, Tunnel Vision Alibi, off of Divine Intertention from Hail the Sun's newest album. You can check the links in the description if you haven't gone to pre-order it, you haven't gone to pick it up. They're also out on tour with Being As an Ocean, Kaunashi, and Origami Button. So if they have Hate Your City already, I'm sorry. But if they have not, go out and see them. I've seen them multiple times. And I feel like arguably this might be the best time to see them. So definitely go say what's good if you do see Hail the Sun. But the first song, Tunnel Vision Alibi, I gotta say, started off with pure heat. This one, chef's kiss. It was great. I like kind of like the more like Latin inspired kind of beat going on, especially at the beginning with that really awesome guitar riff. Definitely enjoyed that a ton. That was probably one of the coolest riffs to start the album off with, certainly. I also just really enjoyed Donovan's vocals. I think he's just really been having a great time to shine throughout all of these singles I've listened to. I did listen to Mind Rider. I didn't wind up doing a reaction video to it, but definitely I wanted to do it, but I didn't ultimately wind up doing it, so I just wind up listening to it in my free time. And I love that song. So just kind of all of the singles. Chunker was another great one. Under the Floor was another fantastic song. Just kind of Maladapted was also a great single. So I feel like for me personally, it's just been quite a journey in terms of the singles. So some of the songs that obviously aren't singles, I'm just really excited to delve into. So super sick. Outbreak, you only missed Tunnel Vision Alibi just barely, like a smidge. So you can go back and listen to it because I'm going to be talking about this song for just a little time. Want to give it some love. But yeah, Donovan sounded fantastic. I always kind of felt like he sounded really great throughout all of the singles, and I think this one again continues to really set the bar very high for this album. Really loved RX guitar riffs along with Shane. I think they just have some really underrated guitar riffs, and this song certainly shows off that skill. As well as that John is, I feel like, and I did mention this in Chunker, I just feel like the mix on their albums just haven't really allowed for John to kind of be out there in the open. So I do appreciate that all of these songs thus far have had a lot more of John's like bass featuring going on in the music, because I don't want to feel like he's a detriment to the band, because he's certainly a fantastic bass player, but I do find that in previous albums, he's not as standoutish as I feel like in these songs, as well as the singles. It just feels like there's just more of an urgency to have him be a little bit more forward, and I think also writing-wise, too, there's just a lot more moments where he's able to shine. So I appreciate that a lot, too. And I did find out, I believe Drummers commented and said that Alan is now doing their drums, and I'm almost positive he said that he did the drums for this album. So his drumming style, very eclectic. If you've seen Hail the Sun, you know Alan is a fantastic drummer, and I only think he adds that sort of intensity and vibe that Hail the Sun already had very strongly, but I think he kind of amplifies it that much more. But yeah, great track to open the Divine Intertention record off with. I would say this one is definitely going to be pretty high up there in terms of my favorite. This is honestly probably going to be a pretty hard album to rate out my favorites, but really enjoyed this one. Really great energy to start the record off with, and again, fantastic all-around great Hail the Sun track, so definitely go give this one a listen. But we are going to move into track 2, which is Mind Rider. This is the first single that they released off of Divine Intertention before actually they announced the album. So this is a oldie but goodie, but we're going to get into it right now, and I'm sure a lot of you know this song by now. I know I do. Oh, that John bass, man. Oh, so fucking riffy. I love it. Also, thanks, Drums, for commenting. Had to just make sure I was right.
Switch the phone back to silent. Hope that you'll never
I feel like this one has only gotten better with age.
Alarms start to deafen my senses. My cool goes out the door. I know that with games there are losses, but I just wanna evade the process. The thought of your touch drives me insane. In the best kind of way, make your move, watch your flow. I then turn your veins, and I'm coming my way through your thoughts. All at once.
I love this bridge. So Latin inspired again. Oh, so good.
You're giving up while giving in turn. What's your move? What's your move? The pattern enables us. The soul from my tongue sticks to your neck. In the best kind of way, make your move. What's your move? I then turn your veins, and I'm coming my way through your thoughts.
Oh man, I still love this song so much. I go back and listen to this one so frequently, especially, obviously since the album's out now. But yes, this was Mine Rider, first song off the, I guess, single train, I would say. But I really enjoyed this one a lot. The drumming on this is incredible. I just kind of love the great hi-hat work that Alan's doing in this. Just, again, I'm going to continue to talk about that bridge because that is such a fun bridge. Very, energetic. I can just imagine seeing, Donovan just, fucking, spinning that microphone around and just, having a good time. Because I know now he feels like a front man, in some previous iterations of Hail the Sun, he would go and swap and do, obviously, play some drum parts, but I feel like as of more currently, he's been able to just be a front man, which is really sick. Kind of reminds me of some of his previous projects, like CMVAR, Nova Charisma, things of that nature. Even his own solo stuff, it just feels like he's always been kind of in the front seat of doing that. But in Hail the Sun, it almost feels like he's a little bit behind the curve on that, which is wild, but still really cool nonetheless. Udrum says, when this song released, Alan says probably one of the bottom 3 songs on the album. I don't know how, because this one, obviously we haven't gone through the rest of it, so I feel like I'm gonna hold that comment and remember that hopefully by the time we get finished with it. But I don't know. I really love the vibe of this. It really screams like Hail the Sun. Everything elementally wise, it just kind of reminds me a lot of why I love Hail the Sun and how musically diverse they are. And I think the singles did a really great job of how diversifying their sound even that much more since their previous album. And so it was just really nice to see that they're always constantly trying to innovate or trying to do something a little bit different or a little bit more out of the box, or maybe something a little bit more akin to some of their culture. Again, having sort of those Latin moments, especially in that bridge, was really sick. It was just a really nice, well-flowing song. I love that chorus. It's really big, really open, and I feel like Donovan gets his best opportunity to kind of belt and just be a little bit more explosive vocally. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. I do love the bass playing from John as well. Really great work. I feel like this one's maybe a little bit more subtle in terms of its approach, but still has some really great bass lines in this track as well. Again, it's more specifically in that bridge part. I feel like everybody kind of just does just goes off in that bridge. So I really enjoy that. And the guitar playing from Arik and Shane is just fantastic. They have really great synergy together, and I think this one, arguably has some really great guitar riffs in it. But I would love to see, obviously we'll be listening to the rest of it as well too. But just overall, the vibes were great in this song, and I enjoyed it as a single, and I still enjoy it now. I think it works very well after Tunnel Vision Alibi. It's a little bit more mellow. It's a little bit more there's still definitely aggressive parts in this song, but it's a nice counteract to, I feel like, Tunnel Vision Alibi. Also kind of pulling elements from that too. You love to see it. So without further ado, we're going to move on to Chunker, which is track number 3. Y'all have probably heard this one by now, but if you haven't, we're going to hop into track 3 now. That running guitar riff. Great energy. Keeping it up. That really interesting drumming work, I enjoy that a lot. Back to the punk beat, nice. The build up to this end is so sick. And then that transition at the end for the outro. I love it. All right, guys, that was track 3, Chunker, off of Divine Intertention, Hail the Sun's newest album. You can check the links below. Go pre-order it. They have vinyls, CDs, cassettes. I'm pretty sure they have most of that stuff still left. I know they keep adding on to the store, so if you can go pick it up, definitely go do it. I'm excited for my copy to get to me. I know some people have gotten it early, so just patiently waiting for that Hail the Sun record. But enjoyed this one a lot. I do find that I go back and listen to this one pretty frequently as well too. I will say I feel like a lot of the moments that I knew were coming just kind of I don't want to say like glazed over me, but I will say like the reaction when I first listened to it definitely hit a little bit stronger than I feel like now. I just know I already love the song already, so I was just kind of like vibing it out, feeling it all over again. But really like the kind of more like upbeat, more like aggressive, fast-paced parts of this song, especially more of that like sort of punk beat at the like in the second verse. That was really sick. I think Alan gets to really kind of go a little bit more ham on a track like this, which is really cool. As well as that, like Donnie's vocals, I feel like that's probably a large, strong suit of what I'd argue what Hail the Sun does very well. I think Donnie is an incredible vocalist, but I would say in this song more specifically than maybe some of the other releases, I just feel like there's a lot more like emotional like tendencies in the singing. I do think that Donnie just kind of sings with a little bit more conviction in this song, especially with more of that sort of grittier like vocal tone that I just absolutely love he does. And I think that this song utilizes it super well. You get to hear a lot more of those stronger emotions that I think really benefit from a song like this. That last bit at the end when it kind of goes to that like large build-up, and then you get this really cool, interesting sort of swing section at the end of the song. Really nice, really different. I appreciate the fact that they just kind of just didn't end you on like the cliffhanger end. I like that they kind of mellowed it out and just allowed you to just kind of enjoy your out of the song. Really nice, really enjoyed that as well too. And then again, I think John had a larger role in this song, definitely more of a bass presence. He was able to add like a really beautiful low end to this track that I absolutely love in this track as well. Again, Shane and Arik, fantastic guitar players. I love that sort of like guitar run at the beginning. I watched the like guitar playthrough they did on Equal Vision. It's just really cool to see some of the like more intricate riffs going on in this song that I don't feel like I really appreciated when I first listened to it, but now listening to it multiple times, I think there's a lot more love I have to give for this song. So overall, definitely another great single if you haven't checked that one out. But we're going to make it through 60-minute session blocks, which is a new one. I have not listened to this one, so I'm very excited to delve into it. I'm actually excited to delve into after Maladapted. It's all going to be new songs, so hopefully you guys will join me for the rest of it. But let's get into 60-minute session blocks. Ooh, interesting guitar effects.
I told myself I shouldn't care about what I do different. Yeah, I could improve if I could just find the motivation, but get stuck. 60-minute session blocks, saying that I'm changing when I'm not, but I always mean well. I really do. Only have to justify the truth that I do. I'll never change. I am the way I fluctuate. Never
Oh, sick chord transition.
call it the way I cope with how and where I go. I'm still a liar. I still deceive. The one I deal with most, though, with is me. I quit the dark shit years ago, but I'm still
Oh, every time that chord change happens, I love it. Ooh. Interesting drumming going on here. Kudos, Donnie.
I'll never change, but I accept my indecision.
Oh, that was awesome.
I am the way I fluctuate. Never
He is popping off in this last chorus. Wow, oh my god. I can't even. Why would you? Oh my god, they lead it into the next song like that. I can't. This is wild. This was 60-minute session blocks from Hail the Sun's Divine Intertention. Ooh drums. We made the same. Yeah, I feel like I feel like that's a common thing that I find when I do reaction videos and people comment on them. They're like, I made the same exact face at the same time, and I feel like that, I have a special kinship with you, Ooh drums, now. So glad we could share in that moment. But this was great. This was a little bit different, I'd argue, than some of the singles. This was a little bit more like melodic. It was a little bit more vibey. I think Ooh drums hit it on the head. Definitely a little bit more like musically different. I think from some of the other songs that we've heard thus far, definitely just definitely a switch of the path here. I would highly say this is like Donnie went off. That last chorus, oh, bro, like you didn't have to do it like that, but I appreciate the fact that you went that hard. Like that. I was stoked. He really like. You could tell there's like very similarly to, I feel like, Chunker, which is what we just listened to. There was just like a lot of like emotional like elements in this song that I think just like really drove the vocals in this track. I would say this one thus far has been probably the best highlight of Donnie's vocals, and the kind of different ranges, different like tones, different vibes. Like he had some moments where he was like belting, like borderline screaming. There's some parts where he's a little bit more like melodic and kind of does some really interesting runs and is very like beautiful. And I just kind of enjoyed and was just really trying to really actively listen to his vocals and what he was doing, which was great. So I think this is probably the front runner in terms of Donnie's vocals, but the overall like instrumentation was also very cool. I do feel like they almost play a little bit of a backseat role to Donnie's vocals in this track, which isn't, I would argue, a detriment to the track at all, because I think, that I feel like that's possibly the reason why Donnie's vocals are so strong in it. I did like that little bit of a slowdown, and then they like picked up the pace in that last part of the song too. That was really awesome. But yeah, this one definitely took me by surprise. I am so thrilled that it leads directly into Maladapted in that way. Like, I almost thought instinctually when listening to the Maladapted the first time around, I was like, there's got to be like some sort of song before this one. Well, obviously in terms of the track list, but I didn't know the transition would be that smooth. So I do appreciate that a lot, actually. But yeah, 60-minute session blocks is probably going to be a sleeper track, I'd argue. There's those definitely some moments where there's a lot of great emotion. So I got to give Donnie a lot of credit, and that's why I hit him with the golf clap kudos, because that was fantastic. But let's get into Maladapted because we're already on it already. So we're speeding through this. So guys, check out Maladapted, track 5. Let's hop into it.
Running out of reasons to tell myself for the things I can't explain. Dwelling on the moments I keep replaying in the hopes that maybe they'll change. Far as I can see, I'm a puppeteer, trying to control what I can't bring near. So I finally stop, let go of
It's this chorus that hits, man.
the more I give up, the better I feel. There's no turning back. I've broken the seal. The motion I can handle. The motion I can handle. Do I care too much to leave it alone? There's a narrative I always need to know.
Yes, this song is so good. Outbreak.
Maybe it's that I obsess
And Oud
on
drums.
figuring out every person, place, or thing I've come to doubt. But I finally stopped, let go of the wheel. The more I give up, the better I feel. There's no turning back. I've brokered the deal. The motion I can handle. The motion I can handle. Stop obsessing on what's not important. Stop obsessing on what's not important. Stop obsessing on what. And so I give up.
Oh, this part's so filthy.
Tap twice, blink and look right side. I shut the door twice for this one and that one. Alright, will.
Oh,
I finally stop, relinquish the wheel. The better I feel. I finally stop, let go of the wheel. The more I give up, the better I feel. There's no turning back. I've broken the
I like this call and response part. It's so sick.
the motion I can handle. The motion I can handle.
This ending. I feel like they have to play that one live. There's no way they don't. I feel like they've played all. I mean, I think I think maybe Oud drums. Did they? Which did they? What was in their set list from the new album? I would assume all 4 singles, right? I would guess. I don't know. You can let me know. Guys, if you're just tuning in, this was track 5, Maladapted. Rob, thank you for joining us. You said just finished the album, pretty good. Do you happen to have a favorite? Because I know right now we're about halfway through, roughly. You know, next song we will be halfway through the album, so I'm curious what you're excited to hear what I have to say about some of the songs on the upcoming album. But anyway, really enjoyed this song. Very, very similarly. Okay, so they did play all of them. That makes sense. I just imagine Maladapted sounds great, especially that like last part where it goes into like blast beats and just like really odd like guitar like effects and stuff. That must have been really sick. But anyway, the song, this was my most current reaction video, so I feel like I have a little bit more of a better idea of how I feel about the song, because I do listen to this one a lot. But I really enjoyed this song particularly. I think the song really hits it off once you get to that chorus. That chorus is super groovy, really infectious. The melodies are really sick as well too. I just really like the arrangement of the track. As well as that, I think Donnie sounds really sick in this song as well. I think I think that's pretty much a common thread through all Hail the Sun songs, but he just has this really commanding way of making a song his, and not that I feel like Hail the Sun is just specifically one person, because it's not, but I do find that their synergy is so well put together, and again, they've written, I think this is their 5th studio album, I'm pretty sure, so, I think they do have just such a great overall energy that I really love about it. As well as that, I like that they incorporated a little bit more heavy elements. I think that was very similarly to, I would kind of put Chunker in that sort of situation as well. There was just some really cool moments that I feel like in prior Hail the Sun songs or albums, like they didn't really incorporate as much of that into their music. So it was very nice to hear a little bit more of that going on. All the instrumentation on this song was really sick. I think I pretty much pointed that out in my reaction video to this song, but I just think that all the singles instrumentally wise were really solid. I think probably my favorite was Under the Floor. I enjoyed that one a ton. But Maladapted was also really good too. I think this one definitely grew on me since I did the reaction video. But this song is really, really tight, and I kind of am bummed that I didn't get a chance to see them in Philadelphia. But I'm hoping next time they come around, I'll definitely be trying to go out and see them. But yeah, very great song. If you haven't listened to this one, definitely go do it, because this one is one of the singles, and they released a cool music video for it. I guess it's not technically a music video, but hey, whatever, it's close enough. Robert says Maladapted or Chunker probably. I have to listen to the newer ones more. Fair enough. That I feel like there's a pretty good assessment to make on that, but I'm excited to delve into arguably the most, if not all, of the newer songs on this album. So we are getting into the back half of the record, which I'm really stoked on. So if you've been patiently waiting for me to listen to the new songs, and you've also been patiently waiting to listen to new songs, I appreciate you. So we are going to move it on to track 6, which is The Story Writes Itself. So let's give this bad boy a listen. Oh.
The universe finds me, telling me where I need to go. Have you ever had someone you just betray your love in for their self-righteous reasons? And have you had your murders be done by somebody else? The colors show themselves. Watch out, we have a contender. Watch how they think they know.
Ooh, cool vocal effects.
Really don't. They do as they're told. Watch me as I go on the way.
Ooh, what a switch up.
I created, I can just
All right.
fade it in stays.
I love these rhythm changes. So sick.
Resentment behind. Only trust your inner circle. These core lessons take time. And even if my lovers leave me for somebody else, the story writes itself. You ever had
What? Excuse me?
Watch how they think they know, but I really do. And if I wanted to, I could have that too. On the way.
Ooh, and then get into the swing?
I created,
Oh.
I can choose who is faded in stays. By the way, I
Ooh, I like this vibe. Excuse me. Nice call and response there. That was sick. Ooh. This is sick. Nice gang vocals.
In the world I have created,
Oh my god.
loved and I'm hated. It keeps it exciting.
What is the fuck is going on with the song?
I got love for your passions, even when it's cloud chasing instead. By the way, be afraid, 'cause I'll only stay silent when dead. What's the cause? What's the dead? What's the cause? The piecing together of everything. What's the cause?
Oh my god, what an ending. Oh. I can't. That was so sick. This might be the front runner right now. Guys, the story writes itself off of Hail the Sun's newest album, Divine Intertention. You can check the links below if you'd like to go pick it up, but oh boy, there's a lot to unpack in this song. I just want to say, like, rhythmic wise, they just went all over the map. There was some really cool transitions in this song that I feel like I would not have enough brain power to compute all of the really cool transitions, but man, this I think this might be the one of the front runner tracks, at least, that I think Hail the Sun has put out in quite a bit. It's like theatrical in some parts, which is what Rob put in the chat here. I think that is a great adjective to describe the song. Definitely in that like more bridge portion of the song. Rhythmically, it's all over the place. I think this is like Alan's like he has gone ham in some of these other songs, but I think like this is really testing his will as a drummer. I feel like, you know, there's just some intricacies going on in this track that I'd imagine I imagine this would be a hard one to play live. I imagine they probably will play this one live if I had to guess. Maybe, I don't know, I don't want to read into it, but if they were to play this one live, I think I would pop off for this 100%. But the song itself was great. I think instrumentation-wise, definitely takes a little bit of more of a front seat, I would say, but that's not to discount like Donnie's vocals. I think he sounds really fantastic in this track, but like there's just so many cool things like guitar-wise. There's so many cool things bass-wise. Alan is crushing it on the drums. I think it's hard to deny, like, instrumentation-wise, how diverse and eclectic this song is. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I like that little pocket of, like, gang vocals. That was really neat. It added this kind of, like, avant-garde, kind of, like, grandiose sort of feeling to the song that I really enjoyed. But, yeah, this one I think is the best one thus far, I would say, and I only imagine that the more I listen to the song, the more I'm gonna love it. So I gotta say, perfect midpoint to the record. I think we're climbing the mountain, the Hail the Sun mountain. I think this one is definitely peak. I like this one a lot. I think this one might be very hard to beat, but who knows? We still have a couple more songs to do. Ooh Drum says that was sick. Alan's little ghost notes always perfectly placed. Can't agree. The ghost notes, chef's kiss. Daro, hey, what's going on, bud? How you doing, bud? Miss ya. The vocals on this album are insane. I know. Donnie pops off. Big kudos. I love it. Dario says, I'm hearing a lot of metal, gent influences, punk, Panic at the Disco, Coheed It's such a nice progression to their sound. I would agree as well too. There's a lot of different like really like more technical things, and I think I did mention it a little bit sooner when I started the stream. I do feel like the addition of Alan was really integral to that, because I know he comes from a very unique background in terms of his drumming skill. So it's been nice to hear his drumming and how much he has kind of had, I would say, a pretty profound effect on the band. But I'd also say band-wise, I think all of them have really upped their game since New Age Filth, and I like that record a lot. I go back and listen to it very frequently. I go back and listen to pretty much Hail the Sun's entire discography because I think they are a great band. I will say I used to take a shit on Wake, but Wake is definitely a fantastic record, and I kind of regret my takes on Wake because I think it's a very underrated Hail the Sun record. But I think this has been nice. It's been kind of like a cool melting pot of different genres, and I've just been excited to experience like the new turning of a leaf for Hail the Sun in terms of their sound. So it's been really fun. I think this one is one of the best songs on the record. I think I can say that with a pretty good assurity, certainly. But we're going to get into the next song, which is In My Dream. So let's give it a listen. Looks like it is kind of an interlude if I had to guess. So let's give it a spin. I am not going to get over that song. I'm just going to say that now, just so everybody knows. It's on record.
Dreamt I found you hanging. I didn't know what it meant.
Ooh, a nice lyrical reference to the next song.
Follow me though. Everywhere I went, the pupils were engulfing. They seemed to only grow, but nothing made me tremble like the stories that they told. Swaying back and forth, you pointed to my neck. You told me that it was yours and that it would constrict the window on the 5th floor.
Guys, build up. All right.
As you wept, what am I witnessing? What stories have you kept?
I'll go back and play a little bit after we get into the next, after I'm done talking about the song. But that was In My Dream. What a cool little interlude part of the song. I like how just the energy, you can start to feel it shift into the next song. That's very nice, Again, very appropriate for their skill level and like the type of music that they're just been crafting in this album, which has been really sick. This was very like ambient. I like the guitar work in it. I also really appreciate the fact that if you are listening to it with headphones, I feel like a lot of the lead guitar parts get kind of stuck here, and then you hear a little bit more of that like full like guitar ambience like pitched back and forth through the song. So I really kind of thought that was interesting. Definitely like that styling. I think that's very interesting, very unique. But yeah, there isn't really too much to talk about. I feel like Donnie really did a great job in this song, even though I feel like it's just kind of like a momentum builder to the next one. So yeah, I don't think there was too much else to add to it, but I feel like I have to go back just a smidge so we can get into I Saw You Hanging. So I'm just gonna click on this one, and we're gonna hit the soft reset. I'm gonna probably do it right here. That seems about good. So the next song, guys, is track 8, I Saw You Hanging. So we're gonna get into this, but I wanted to set it up well. So let's give it a listen.
Shattered as you wept. What am I witnessing? What stories have you kept? A decaying butterfly.
Ooh,
Experience
Let's go, John. Okay.
Oh, but no, I allow it. I'm wanting to intervene. These things that lie in
Oh, these drums are wild.
the now and the time before. Need I say more? I thought I saw me grieving.
Oh, yeah.
I saw you dead, and the truth it reveals was a lie instead. I thought I felt you dying.
Ooh, I like that straight beat. Okay.
I awoke to the fact that I didn't care. I can't stop thinking about it. It keeps on playing in my head. Bless the people who never wait. Bless the people who never wait. I thought I saw me grieving. I thought I saw you dead. And the truth it reveals was a lie instead. And I thought I felt you dying. I swore I saw me there. I awoke to the fact that I didn't care. I dreamt I found you hanging. I didn't know what it meant.
This is interesting. I like it, though.
Eyes would follow me though. Everywhere I went.
Alan is finessing those drums. 100%.
Shattered as you wept. What am I witnessing? What
Little
stories
drum roll.
have you kept?
The cymbal hits. Ooh. I like the really reverberated drums. Sick. Ooh. I like this. That ending, bro. That was awesome. Sounds like some radio shit, if you ask me. Anyway, guys, this was I Saw You Hanging, off of Hail the Sun's newest album, Divine Intertention. You can check the links below if you'd like to go pick it up. Go support the boys. Would love to see that happen. You know, I want to see this record do big stonks. That'd be really sick. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was a little bit more of a change of pace. I think that Alan and John took more of the helm on this track. Definitely a little bit more drumming, a little bit more bass forward. Which, listen, shout outs to the drummer, shout outs to the bass players. You know, I love that. But there was some really cool like lead guitar work that both Shane and Arik did in this track. I would say more specifically at the end of the song, like there was really kind of like double hand tapping, kind of like really interesting lead parts. Really enjoyed that. But yeah, I would say this is definitely like more of the John and Alan show in terms of this song, which can't deny that. Definitely enjoyed that aspect of it. I do feel like, you know, Alan has this unique way of being a little bit more subtle in this song, but then like can absolutely just like crash down on like Maladapted. You know, it's kind of insane how much his style kind of ebbs and flows with the song. I think that that's really cool, and obviously a good marker on how a good drummer should fit into a band. And I also think just because he's been touring with them for such a long time and is basically like the fifth member of the project, essentially, I do feel like that helps out a lot, certainly in terms of his ability to just like really fit his way into Hail the Sun, because I do think he kind of puts, and especially if you've seen Hail the Sun where Alan's drumming, like you can tell his style is just really aggressive, really upfront, and I think he does a great job of being really forward about that. But I also think he borrows a lot from Donnie as well too, since they obviously are all touring together. So I really enjoy that aspect of it, and I think that's what obviously makes this song super strong, is that like both John and Alan have a really tight core, and I think that really was highlighted in this song specifically. But yeah, overall, this one was a really solid track. I think it's a little bit more subtle in its approach, so I would definitely have to give this one more of a listen to kind of give a better opinion on the song. But I liked it. I thought it was very solid, and just kind of was like a really well put together Hail the Sun track, and I don't think you can expect much less from that. So really fun. I do feel like Donnie takes a little bit of a backseat on this song as well too, which is totally fine. And I appreciate the fact that they're giving different highlights or different moments within the album to different members of the project. It's just been nice to hear different vibes, different moods, different feelings. So I've been really kind of enjoying my ride with this album as well too. So really good song. I definitely feel like it requires a little bit more listening, because there are some moments that I wish I was a little bit able to like be more in the moment on it. But yeah, overall, really solid track. We are going to move it into track number 9, which is, I believe, is Tithe is how you pronunciate it. I might be an absolute idiot, which is very on brand for me. So let's get into the next one, track 9. I think this is Tithe. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, don't correct me. When did they get heavier? This is wild. I believe it, Rob. This is their heavy song. Oh, nice. This section is so wild. Oh. The dissonance. We cannot let this get out. All our sermons are important, but business comes first. Ooh, that like falsetto switch. Sick. What a wacky way to end the song. I like it though. It's a little off kilter. On brand for Hail the Sun, honestly. Alright guys, that was Tithe off of Hail the Sun's new album, Divine Intertention. I like this one a lot. I will comment on what Rob said earlier, which this being their heaviest song, could totally get the, we can definitely get the vibes on this one. Both Rob and Jessica said we love Spooky Donnie. You know, we a Spooky Donnie stan over here as well too. So I like the vocal effects at the end. It was definitely a little bit odd, but I think that it kind of fits with the motif of the song as a whole. Really enjoyed the more metal aspects of it. It definitely kind of gave me a little bit of like a power metal sort of feel to it, especially at the beginning part. Really enjoyed that aspect of it. But there were some really interesting rhythm changes that I appreciated in this song. I think again this is another fantastic track done by Alan. The drumming, it should not go understated in this track. Really well put together. Some of the rhythm choices he decided to go with was really awesome. It really does make it more of a standout piece, I would argue, in that aspect. As well as just I think instrumentation wise, all of them do a fantastic job of filling in gaps where I feel like the others may not, necessarily need to be in the song. So I do appreciate the fact that they all kind of rotate in some weird fashion. Which was really awesome. The more dissonant, spooky, I guess, elements of this track particularly. Definitely reminds me a lot of some of the more older stuff as well too. But just overall been a fun ride. I think vocally, instrumentally, I think just being a fan of Hail the Sun since Elephantitis days. It's been really awesome to just see their progression as a band, and just to have Alan kind of be more of a driving force on this album, and just for everybody else to kind of step up and take up that sort of metaphorical cross. I think it's been really nice to hear just the band doing well. I think that all of these songs are really interesting, really unique. I don't feel like each song kind of has a similar theme to it, but I think if you look at it from maybe more of a bird's eye view, then I find that there's a lot of interconnecting pieces. And this is my first listen, and I can guarantee you I'm going to be listening to this album a lot more after this review's over with. But it's just been really fun to kind of see how far and how outreaching they're going to be in terms of their sounds and what they're able to do. And I just like the fact that they're just really delving into a bunch of different genres, and just kind of making it their, putting their Hail of the Sun, sound on it. I just think it's really tight. And this one was definitely a song that I don't think I would have ever thought that they would kind of release. So it's been really awesome to see more of a different vibe on this one as well. But yeah, Donnie crushed it on this track too. I think his vocals are really interesting, and I'd argue in terms of post-hardcore music, he's really got quite a range. So definitely competing with a lot of the different artists within this sort of genre and scene. So kudos to Donnie for just absolutely crushing it on this album thus far. And we got a couple more songs to go, so it's very nice. Jessica said Alan is absolutely dominating on the drums on this album. It's incredible. I couldn't agree with you more. I think Alan's been a really driving force to this record, certainly. So kudos to Alan. Hope you're doing well, bud. We'll love to see you again soon. But the next song is Feeble Words, and this is arguably the shortest song next to In My Dreams, which I felt like was more of a interlude. So let's get into Feeble Words. I feel like we got to do it.
I think I'm growing still.
Alan is a dog.
I switch between perspectives. I'm different than
I didn't really feel comfortable saying that, but I did it anyway.
Moment right before this, and still there's no doubt I'll change.
You gotta have a nice little softy song from my boy Donnie.
You cried but do it with your eyes so I can work around those feeble words. Instead, I'm forced to feel the same.
Oh, what a great chord progression. Oh,
You're wearing what you wore the day we reconnected. The way your lips
oh, the layering.
is so unique to you. What are the odds that we would even exist at all? And as we do, we change. The tears are 'cause I don't know how I feel. There's a method that
It's giving me the
never
goosebumps.
misses. Tell me how you feel, but do it with your eyes so I can work around those feeble words. Instead, I'm forced to feel the same.
Oh man, that was great. Oh, I got the goosebumps. I'm feeling it. This one was sick. And right after the heaviest song that they have on this album, which I think is, par for course for them. Guys, that was Feeble Words. That was track 10 off of Hail the Sun's new album, Divine Intertention. Check the links below. If you haven't picked it up, go support the guys. That would be amazing. I'd love to see you. I always want to see Hail the Sun on top, guys. That would be amazing. I would feel accomplished, and I'm sure you guys would feel accomplished. So do it up if you haven't already. Jessica said, just kind of get into chat a little bit. She said that the ability to go from absolute heaviness to the softer side of Donnie still blows me away. I think he's just got an incredible range as a vocalist. I did talk about how much I enjoyed him in like Mind Rider and Chunker and like some of the more, first couple songs off the album and how vocally diverse he is. And then just to go from Tithe to this track, which is like, again, a vocal 180 is just amazing to me. So I just love that element of what he's able to do as a vocalist. And again, I'll totally back this statement. I think he is one of the best post-hardcore vocalists in the scene right now, and I think they definitely, at least Hail the Sun, I'd argue, has a very good chance of being in amongst the like post-hardcore royalty, I'd argue, just because they have such a unique sound. And I think with each album, they just continue to get better and better, not only instrumentally, but vocally as well. And I think this has been arguably their best work to date, I would say. I mean, we still have like one more song to listen to that I haven't listened to yet. But I could probably say that with pretty good surety that I've really enjoyed this, and I can only imagine it's going to get better the more times that I listen to it. Dario said this one made me cry. I was getting close. I could feel it, Jessica also said it's very relatable. It's right up there with Lax Divide. Also another fantastic Hail the Sun track. So definitely like that. Robert said some of the songs on this album, especially this one, reminds me of Donovan's solo album, Chelsea Park After Dark. And Dario says, Robert, yes, I was thinking the same thing. And Jessica also backs that up as well too. I should give that a listen. I feel like that's the one thing that I really haven't delved into as much, so I feel like I should probably give it more of a listen. And Jessica also said that this is too short. I can 100% agree with that. I stand by that statement. So but yeah, it was really more of a softer sort of song. I think it plays more to the emotional side of what Hail the Sun does, which I think I love. Definitely more of a swingy, sort of vibey, soft song, more akin to like solo stuff, as well as I would say like maybe some more acoustic Hail the Sun things. Really like the guitar work. I think the chord progression was really sick. I like the overdubbing of vocals as well too. That was really beautiful, and some of the ways that it just kind of catches you emotionally is really awesome. So yeah, this one I think is also another underrated track. I'd imagine this is gonna be pretty high up there for like people. I imagine they might play it at a VIP session the next time they do a headliner show. I would guess. I don't know. It does feel like more of a song that they would do more acoustically. So who knows? Maybe that might actually happen. Ernesto, what's going on, sir? Love you to death, brother. I will get to that new track later. Not tonight, but tomorrow for sure. Drum says you should listen to Alan's first band, Vs. The Light Lost is sick. Drum work is fire. I agree. I actually had Alan on here and we talked about Vs. So big salutes. Vs was awesome. I don't know if he's still really doing anything with Vs now since he's in Hail the Sun, but yeah, I did listen to Light Lost. Fire album. If you haven't checked it out, go check out my man Alan in Vs. He's awesome. He's always been crushing it. So love Alan. But we are going to move it on to the next track, which is track 11. This is Little Song. This is the last of the new songs that I've listened to, so I'm very excited to get into this last one. So if you're going to be joining me, thank you, and let's get into this last one. Ooh, okay, John. All right. This is fun. I like this. Oh, wow. Oh, what a transition. Awesome. Ooh. Nice little blast beat section. All right, let's go, Alan. Man, the transitions are so clean. I also do want to know too. Maybe we'll have to ask them. Good groove change. Sick.
Today on what was ours.
Oh, nice soft
These
outro.
words resonate what I adore. From the first night to now, and where we've been, let the joy resonate. I always am.
Nice ending. Definitely a little bit of a surprise, I'd argue. All right, guys. Well, that was a little song off of Hail the Sun's new album, Divine Intertention. I enjoyed this one. This was a little bit out there. I like the fact that, again, this had John at the forefront. That bass riff was molto bene. Great. I loved it. John's bass work in this album will not go unnoticed by me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, especially bass players, because, man, there's just it just feels like there's a larger focus on what John's doing. And I love John. John's a ball of energy. If you've ever met John, you know. If you know, you know. But, man, just a different vibe, but I still feel like it's very much in that Hail the Sun camp. And I think there was a little bit more subtleties within this song that I think you could definitely hear throughout the entire album. Just like a little bit of fun drum work, fun rhythm work. Again, John and Alan just on a binge together. So I think that that's really sick. And I definitely feel like they pull live synergy from each other, which is awesome. Love the guitar work in this. I want to also mention what Rob said earlier about having like really like spooky or like odd guitar effects in the song, and just also what Jessica said as well too, just having that be more of their signature like ambience. I would 100% agree with that. I think that they really incorporated some really cool guitar effects in this song specifically, as well as just the album as a whole. I think that's kind of at least what I know now is just the Hail the Sun like checkbox. I feel like it's a bullet point. They have to have some cool kind of like odd guitar effect or something like that. It's always been something that I feel like they've incorporated into their music, but I'd argue I think that this is really a large portion of their sound and what they continue to kind of amplify in their music. So I definitely appreciate that a lot too. Dario says, I also love that they've been experimenting with lower tunings. I've been hearing C sharp standard on a few songs, and then he also said he gets a lot of influence from John's style. Go check out Dario's band Least. They put out an EP, really sick. I did have a chance to listen to it. I loved it, but please go check it out. I know this is not a plug for Least, but I feel like I gotta say it since he's in the chat. But yeah, really sick EP. Go give him some love, especially if you love like Hail the Sun stuff. Go do it up. But anyway, the song itself was really cool. Definitely what Ooh Drum says. This little song is pretty damn big. I would argue probably not the most appropriately named song, but I digress. I think it's a very fun song nonetheless. And I think it would arguably lead into the last track off the album, which is Under the Floor. We are at the final track. This is one of the singles. They released a really cool music video with it, so definitely go check that out if you haven't. But let's get into Under the Floor and just close out this fantastic record.
He's calling it fate. I think that
This song is still so good. Oh, I love this song. Still. I, in fact, probably have listened to it more times now than I've ever listened to it. But guys, this is the final track, Under the Floor, Hail the Sun's new album, Divine Intertention. You can check the links in the description. If you haven't picked it up already, go do it. Big love to Hail the Sun. Just what incredible people, and also just incredible musicians as well too. I feel like that goes without saying, but I really enjoy what they're doing. This song I did, as most people probably know, I would say that this is one of my favorites off the album. It was one of my favorites as one of the singles as well. And I think even more so, I enjoy this one now because I think it combines a lot of the elements that we did listen to on this album. So, I can definitely see as to why people really enjoy this song and why I think that this one kind of summarizes the record up. There's some really, really interesting guitar elements. I think it includes those really unique, like ambient, spooky, odd, like guitar effects. I think this is very similar to that. Vocally is very cool. I like the kind of vocoder effect that Donnie has mixed in this song. I thought it was really sick. I know it's definitely something I pointed out in the original reaction video. But I just think the attention to detail, there's a lot of like blast beat elements that I heard from Maladapted and some of the other songs off the album. And as well as that, it really kind of culminates the record in a great way, and that's kind of what you expect for a final song on an album. You'd really want it to kind of round out the album, and I think that this does a great job of doing that. And and I was a little concerned because I never really like when bands release the last song as a single, just because I kind of like to know, I like to kind of have that element of surprise on the end of their album. But I do feel like I obviously had plenty of surprises throughout this record, and I don't think it discounts my love of this song because I still absolutely enjoy it. Ooh Drum says Mind Rider bottom 3. I don't know if I would put it in bottom 3, but I could definitely see why somebody might want to put it in bottom 3 100%. In terms of my favorites, since now I feel like this is the optimal time to talk about it, I am going to pick out 5 of my favorites and then pick an honorable mention. So I feel like without saying, really loved at number 1, I would say The Story Writes Itself is arguably one of my favorite Hail the Sun tracks. And I'm so excited to just absolutely beat that shit into the ground because I know I'm going to just be loving that song so much. I probably put Under the Floor at number 2. I really enjoyed that one a lot. That one was something that I think I've already really expressed my love for, but I would probably put that there. Tunnel Vision Alibi, I probably put at number 3. That one was a great opener to the album. Really enjoyed that one a ton too. I would also say I enjoyed Chunker. That one was a very fun track to listen to. Still is a very fun track to listen to as well too. So enjoyed that. And then I would say, ooh, that's tough. What am I going to put at number 5? I feel like Tithe was very fun. So I'll probably put Tithe at number 5 because I enjoyed the different elements. I like that it was the heaviest track on the record. And it definitely speaks for kind of like the different like weird oddities that Hail the Sun does. But I will give an honorable mention to Feeble Words. I really enjoyed that one a lot too. I know it's a little bit more on the softer side, but I could feel it. It was like, you feel it in the chest. So I would say those are my favorites, but that should not dismay you to go check out the other ones. I'd also say 60-minute session block was also very fun. I may switch out Feeble Words for that one. No offense to that song, but I feel like it's going to be hard. I may, when I do my albums of the year at the end of the year, I'll probably talk more in depth on which ones that I liked. But overall, this album, I would argue, is I think a great step forward in terms of what Hail the Suns does. I've pretty much liked a majority of their releases, but I find that this one was probably the most out there, the most experimental, and I think it was obviously the most like liberating record that they've written to date. Like there was a ton of different genres, there's a ton of different things that they were able to just kind of lump into this album. And I think it all works out really well, and it's really intricate, but I think in like the best way it possibly can be, and in only the Hail the Sun fashion. So really enjoyed this album. Would love to know your favorites if you are still in the chat, because I know there's 6 of you in the chat. So let me know what your favorites are off this album. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what the future of Hail the Sun does, and if you want to affect their future, please go pick it up. I know I've been talking just a ton of shit about picking up this record, but it really does help out the band. It helps them get bigger tours. It helps them get to play your city or country if they have not played it yet. So definitely do that. I would highly recommend it, and honestly, these guys are super nice and they deserve it. I'm sure all of you that are going to be watching it already know that. So if you could help, go check that out, go pick it up. I'm sure any support would help. And if you have the opportunity, go see them out on tour. I mentioned at the top of this video, they're out with Being as an Ocean, Kaunashi, and Origami Button. So it's a great lineup, and you should definitely go out and see it if you haven't already. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for staying up late and listening to this album with me. Couldn't have spent it with cooler people in my entire life. So thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this a lot, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It does go a long way. I am trying to hit 5K before the year's over with. So, if you could help me do that, I would be so immensely appreciative. And I'm going to try to get them on. Try to get the Hail of Sun boys on again. Maybe when they're back from tour. We'll try to see what we can do. But I know they've been on before, so would love to have you guys back on if you are watching. Would love to have you guys on as you already know. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you, everybody in chat. I love you. Thank you for sticking it out. Really, really do appreciate it. But I am going to go sleep now because it's 1:30 in the morning on the East Coast. So thank you guys for watching. Love all y'all, and I hope